Do you have a bunch of free time on your hands and do you want to make something super pointless? Yeah, you do. I'm gonna show you how to take your roll cake that you've probably never made from this to this. Still weird, but you're gonna make it. Or at least you'll watch it. This is Baking It Easy. It was a little late. So we are making a roll cake today, and a roll cake is exactly how it sounds. It's a cake that is rolled. It's a super thin cake that we then fill with a filling and roll it on up to make these little like cake round spiral snail sort of looking things. So this is a sponge cake, and we're using a sponge cake for the roll cake because it's spongy. It's got lots of air, so it's pliable, so it's easy to, you know, like, you can't do that with a pound cake. Not that it weighs a pound, but like it's like denser, heavier. We need something light and airy. So in my glass bowl, I'm going to add my egg yolks and my sugar. Oh my God, ooh. That was weird. And the sugar, and I'm going to whisk that up. It's okay. Next, I'm going to add in my milk, my oil, and my vanilla, and whisk again. So for my dry ingredients, I'm going to sift them in, and you'll notice it's not a ton of flour, and then cornstarch. And I'm just sifting these in so I don't get any like clumps, and it gets evenly distributed. And now I'm gonna gently whisk them all together. So once it is all combined and mixed together, now I'm going to move on to my egg whites, which I'm going to whip until soft. There's no W in peaks. Soft peaks. I'm just going to add my egg whites. Whites. I'm just gonna whip this until it gets light and foamy. So as you can see, it looks kind of foamy. And now I'm going to add my cream of tartar, which I've always thought is like about tartar sauce. I really don't think it is, but it's going to help us with our peaks. And now just continue on whipping. It's gotten real big and real floofy, and you can start to tell if it's soft peaks when you lift it up and it holds that little, like, you know, when you're like a kid in the bath and you would like shampoo your hair and all that stuff, and then you'd like flip it and then like put it everywhere and you'd be like George Washington or Santa. Did George Washington have a beard? So now I'm going to add my sugar, and I'm going to turn my mixer on low while I add my sugar, and then we are going to whip until stiff peaks. Like right before the beat drops and all the frat boys are like. Now you can see that this is stiff peaks. It's much more like first time you ever shaved, or whipped cream. It looks like mountains, like someone's yodeling up on that one. So that's the texture that we want. I'm now going to add my egg whites to the rest of my batter, and I'm gonna do it really slowly and really gently because we don't wanna knock any of the air out of the egg whites that we just spent all that time whipping in. Everyone be very quiet. You actually don't have to be quiet. So now we're going to gently fold. And this, you could do like a figure 8 motion. So if you always aspired to be an ice skater and you grew up in California like me and no ice skating rinks, this is where you like take all that knowledge. You can also do like the clockwise and then counterclockwise, but then I have to remember which way clocks go, which is this way, and then this way. This just seems counter, I don't know. So now that my batter is all mixed, I am going to divide this into 4 parts, and I'm going to dye them pretty colors. That was the end of my sentence, but I sounded like there was something else to say. So I'm going to keep a portion of my cake my neutral color. I'm going to start by adding some into my yellowy, and then my juicy orange. Why does that have to be the name? And then over to my pink. So now that I have them separated into the different bowls, I'm going to start dyeing them. This one is lemon yellow, or child me would call it lelin? Was it the M's I couldn't say? Well, that would have been bad because my name's Megan. Okay, gonna add some yellow. So lello, that was it. And now I'm gonna do juicy orange. Again, just one little dollop and gently fold. You can always make your colors brighter by adding more, but it's gonna be hard to make them lighter. This is where we don't tap into our more is more gene. So now the pink one, and for that I'm going to be combining 2 different colors, burgundy wine and Georgia peach. Georgia. Oh my God. I need to do more thumb push-ups. A little bit of this, a little bit of this. And you can see it makes this really cool, pretty marbly pattern. So you don't even really need to mix it all the way if you like that pattern, which I honestly do. So now that all of these are mixed in, I'm going to put them into my baking tin. So it's key that you line your baking pan with parchment paper because we really, really, really need this to come out of the pan easily because then we gotta roll it. So we're asking it to do a lot. So grease it, parchment paper. Don't forget, otherwise you wasted all this time on a cake that's not gonna come out. Time waster. I'm gonna start with my beige, what a sexy color name. Then my juicy orange. Some people do really elaborate roll cakes. I've seen animal print, some cheetahs, some leopards, whatever the difference between those prints are. So I wanna make sure that the dough is all level and even so it bakes at the same rate. So I'm just going to like smushy it, but also it looks really pretty. Oh my gosh, wow. So because we're gonna be turning this out and rolling it, this part that I'm spending all this time to look so pretty and like sunsetty is really gonna be the inside, so no one's going to see that unless they dissect your food, in which like, don't feed them. That's really weird. So now I'm going to tap this to get the air bubbles out and then it goes into my oven. Now I'm going to pop this in an oven that's at 350 for 20-ish minutes-ish, or until it's done and a toothpick comes out clean. So I just took my roll cake out of the oven and took it out of its pan, but it's really, really, really important that you peel the bottom parchment paper off while it's still warm. Otherwise, like when you stay in the pool too long and your fingers get pruny, that's gonna happen to your cake. And this is not a prune cake. So we're going to, ooh, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So now I need to flip this because this is the outside of our roll. So I'm going to place another piece of parchment on top and then a baking tray, and we flip in. Be gentle, Megan, be gentle. Slide you off of here. Now we're ready to roll. You can really fill this with like jam or whipped cream or buttercream. I'm going to be using whipped cream and raspberries. So because I don't want my whipped cream to like squish out, I'm not going to go past this little spot. So I'm gonna give myself like lines to color within so I don't forget. So I'm gonna add a little bit more in the middle because when you think about, when you close your eyes and you envision a roll cake, the filling to cake ratio is like pretty 50-50 right in the middle. So we're gonna add some more, make them thickums. And now on to berries. Berries and cream. Berries and cream. Just all over the cake. You could really do this with any sort of fruit, berry. I think apples would be weird. Oranges would also probably be weird. Maybe it's more helpful I tell you ones I don't think would be weird. Blueberries, sliced strawberries. So I have this on parchment paper to make it easier because I'm going to use my parchment paper to help me roll. And everything's gonna be fine and nothing's gonna go wrong. I think I did it. I mean, it's a cylinder, it's round, looks like a radioactive burrito, which was what I was going for. And it's like an actual real roll. Like that's like a roly-poly, except not like a bug, but it like rolled. It rolled with its homies. I'm so proud of myself and excited. But now I need it to chill. So I'm going to wrap it and let it chill so it can set up and the spiral will stay a spiral when I cut it. Whoa, oh my gosh, time went by so fast. It's already done and chilled. I think it looks really nice, really pretty. She's psychedelic, she's discovering herself, she's going to music festivals. It's a really crazy, wild time. And now, to clean her up a little bit, I'm going to slice off either end to have a cleaner line on each side so it's more of the spiral and less of like the, you know, crusty, that stuff. Okay, so it's only gonna hurt a little. Wow! I did a thing! So now I'm going to transport my cake from my cutting board to my nice pretty serving tray. And we're gonna do this swiftly with confidence because food can sense fear, and just gonna be gentle and nice and okay. Yeah. Are you in the middle? Nope. You're a little, there you go. You're close to the middle. Ah. So now to decorate, I have whipped cream in a piping bag with my favorite attachment. It's a French tip. Do you have a favorite piping bag attachment? And I'm going to pipe little dollops and then add raspberries to indicate to all of my friends who are going to eat this, so many people, that there are raspberries on the inside. Plus you can see it, but it just ties it together and it's really cute. So my roll cake is done. I have succeeded. I won. You lose. It's okay. It wasn't a competition between me and the roll cake. It was a competition between me and myself. Moral of the story. The tips I would remember if you are making a roll cake at home is you want to make sure that you don't knock the air out of your egg whites when you're mixing your batter. Be gentle in your attempts at this. Another tip to remember is to actually start assembling your roll cake when it's not totally chilled. You don't want it to be hot, but you want it to be a little bit warmer so you can work with it. And finally, chill it before you slice it and serve it so you can have these nice, sharp, fancy edges. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. I wave at different speeds. Oh, I can't do that. That's like a...